What's up, Bills Mafia? Here in Buffalo, one thing is crystal clear. The front office, the coaches, and every player in that locker room are locked in on one mission: getting better every single day. This offseason hasn't been about staying still or being satisfied with another deep playoff run. No, sir. The Buffalo Bills are evolving, and that evolution means making smart moves, building fierce competition, and setting the stage for something bigger in 2025. So, before we dive into what might be one of the shrewdest signings of the offseason and the intense wide receiver battle is about to spark, go ahead and smash that like button if you believe in the process. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe so you never miss an update on your Buffalo Bills. Elijah Moore is officially a Buffalo Bill. Now, on paper, it might look like just another one-year prove-it contract. But if you dig a little deeper, if you really understand what's happening inside this WR room, you'll realize this is a move that could shake up the depth chart in a major way. Moore is just 25 years old, a former second-round pick by the Jets. This guy came into the league with hype. We're talking about an electric slot receiver out of Ole Miss who many thought would be a breakout star. But his time with the Jets? Turbulent. He clashed with coaches, requested trades, and eventually got shipped to Cleveland. Now he's got a fresh start, and he's hungry. You can feel it. I was a little surprised Elijah Moore was still available after the draft, said Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer. So I think it was shrewd for the Buffalo Bills to take a flyer on the former Browns and Jets slot receiver. Breer's not wrong. This isn't just a flyer. This is a calculated bet on talent. And guess what? The timing couldn't be better. Let's be real here. This WR room is crowded. After drafting Keon Coleman to pair with Josh Allen as the new DR1 WR2 combo and adding Curtis Samuel in free agency, you'd think things were mostly settled. But here's the deal. As it stands now, 5 wide receivers are realistically competing for just one spot on the 53-man roster. And that's not even counting the 3 undrafted rookies the Bills brought in, who will be looking to make noise in camp. So who are the contenders? Let's break it down. Elijah Moore, the new guy, explosive, shifty, with a chip on his shoulder. KJ Hamler, former second rounder, spent last season with the Bills. Speedster, but didn't see the field on game days. Favors, big body target, made the most of limited action in 2024. Jalen Virgil, another practice squad player with some upside. Caden Prather, the Bills' 7th round rookie from Maryland. Tall, fast, raw, but intriguing. One spot, 5 players, no guarantees. So what makes Elijah Moore stand out? Let's talk numbers first. In 34 career games, Moore's pulled in 120. Catches on 206 targets for 1,178 yards. And that's despite bouncing between 2 teams, quarterback changes, and offensive system shifts. He's proven he can handle volume. And unlike some of the other names in this competition, he's played real snaps in real pressure situations. But maybe most important, he's still got that explosive slot ability the Bills have been searching for since Cole Beasley's peak. Think about it. Line up Keon Coleman on the outside, Curtis Samuel in motion, Dalton Kincaid at tight end, James Cook in the backfield, and then boom, Elijah Moore work in the middle of the field, creating mismatches on linebackers and safeties. That's scary. But to win that final spot, he'll need more than talent. He'll need to prove it. Every rep, every practice, every preseason snap. This isn't just hype coming from us. Adam Schefter appearing on One Bills Live weighed in on how deep this WR battle really is. I mean, they have so many that there's not room for all of them right now. He's not lying. It's crowded. And with Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane putting an emphasis on special teams, effort, and locker room chemistry, it won't just be about who has the flashiest routes. It's going to be about who fits this team. And then there's Caden Prather, the dark horse. Prather is 6'4", runs well, and offers the kind of size-speed combo you don't usually find at the back end of a draft. If he shows even a spark in training camp, he's going to make things complicated for Moore, Hamler, and the rest. Now, let's keep it real. Just because a player has potential or a great college highlight reel doesn't mean it always works. Out. Look no further than Chase Claypool, another former second-round pick, tons of buzz, but just couldn't find his rhythm in multiple cities. And that's the risk the Bills are balancing with Elijah Moore. Can he be this year's redemption story? or will he follow the Claypool path? More promise than production. One thing's for sure, the pressure's on and the stakes are high. While we're talking smart moves, we've got to mention this. John Lynch, the San Francisco 49ers GM, just gave Brandon Beane a major shout out. During an appearance on Chris Sims' Unbuttoned podcast, Lynch had this to say: "I thought Brandon, Beane and Sean McDermott did a great job of retooling and it was seamless. It helps when you have Josh Allen, but they still did that. Lynch knows what it's like to build a contender, to face tough roster decisions. The Niners just parted with guys like Deebo Samuel and Dre Greenlaw after a disappointing 6-11 season. And even he's looking at what Beane did in Buffalo, releasing Tre'Davious White, letting Gabe Davis walk, restructuring Von Miller, and saying that's how it's done. Elijah Moore is just one part of that puzzle, but he might end up being a critical piece. So, Bills Mafia, circle those training camp dates on your calendar, because this WR battle is going to be a war. Every drill, every 7-on-7 rep, every preseason target, it's all going to matter. And don't be surprised if special teams becomes the tiebreaker. The last few WR spots often go to guys who can tackle, block, or return kicks. Elijah Moore? He's got the tools, but the fire around him is real. The latest 2025 fantasy football quarterback rankings are out, and guess who's sitting at QB1? Josh Allen. That's right. According to Sports Illustrated fantasy guru Michael Fabiano, Allen is projected to reclaim the fantasy crown from none other than two-time MVP Lamar Jackson. Now look, we all know fantasy football isn't everything, but it says a lot about how dominant and consistent a quarterback has been. And when you dive into the numbers, it's no wonder why Allen tops the list. Here's the top 5 according to Fabiano: Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles, Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. That's a list full of dual threat monsters, and Allen's at the top again. And let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. Over the past 5 seasons, Josh Allen has never finished worse than QB2 in fantasy football. Read that again. No worse than QB2 in 5 straight years. And last season, he accounted for a total of 40 touchdowns, 28 through the air, 12 on the ground. That's elite production. That's Superman and cleats type stuff. Even with the Bills pulling him early in multiple games where they had big leads, and even with Allen playing 106 fewer snaps than Lamar Jackson, he still finished just a hair behind Lamar in total fantasy points. Lamar Jackson, 411.4 fantasy points. Josh Allen, 385.0 fantasy points. That's a 26-point difference with fewer snaps and fewer games played start to finish. Imagine what Allen could have done with a full workload. It's clear this man is a machine. So why is Josh Allen projected to leap back into the #1 spot for 2025? Let's break it down. 1. Consistency. Allen has accounted for 40-plus total touchdowns in 5 straight seasons. That's not just rare, it's historic. No one else in the league is doing that with the same reliability. Dual threat dominance. He's not just a passer, he's a bulldozer when he runs. 12 rushing touchdowns last year. That's more than a lot of starting running backs. Defenses can't key in on one aspect of his game, and fantasy managers love it. Improved weapons. Let's not forget, the Bills retooled this offense around Allen. Keon Coleman, the rookie wide receiver out of Florida State, gives him a big-bodied deep threat. Curtis Samuel brings versatility. Dalton Kincaid is developing into a premier tight end. And James Cook continues to evolve as a dual threat back. This offense is built to score. Allen versus Lamar. The battle for QB1 isn't just a fantasy debate. It's real football. These two guys were both drafted in 2018. And they've been pushing each other ever since. In terms of fantasy, Allen outscored Lamar in 2023. Lamar edged Allen in 2024. But here's the twist. They'll meet again in 2025, and this time at Highmark Stadium. The date's still TBD, remember. The full NFL schedule drops Wednesday, May 14, but circle that one, Mafia. It's going to be a showdown between 2 MVP caliber QBs. Last year, Ravens beat the Bills in the regular season in Baltimore. Bills got their revenge in the playoffs, winning 27-25 in the divisional round. Highmark will be rocking when they square off again. Fantasy points or not, that game is going to be a war. Let's give credit where credit is due. Allen's not running unopposed. There's a pack of elite quarterbacks chasing him. Lamar Jackson, always dangerous. He's still got the legs and showed he can still sling it, winning his second MVP last year. Jalen Hurts, the guy just wins. He racks up rushing touchdowns, especially near the goal line, and the Eagles are built around his strengths. Jaden Daniels, the new kid on the block, the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year. If he keeps rising, we could see a three-headed fantasy monster between Allen, Jackson, and Daniels. Joe Burrow. Don't sleep on Joe Burrow. If healthy, Burrow's a top 5 fantasy QB easily, but staying on the field has been his biggest battle. Even with all that firepower, the experts believe Allen is the safest, most explosive, most complete option in fantasy. And here's why that matters for us as Bills fans. It's not just fantasy hype. It's national respect. Josh Allen is finally getting the flowers he deserves for being consistently elite. Not just a flash-in-the-pan quarterback. Fantasy football is fun, sure, but the impact of Josh Allen's dominance goes way beyond your Sunday lineups. His presence, his production, and his leadership are the engine behind 5 straight playoff appearances, 4 consecutive AFC East titles, back-to-back trips to the AFC Championship game. When Allen plays well, the entire team feeds off that energy. The city feels it. The fan base rallies. And the opponents? They fear it. So yeah, fantasy players are excited, but we're excited because this is real-life MVP caliber football week in and week out, with Allen returning to MVP form and a fresh WR corpse around him. This season feels different, more focused, more personal. He's got the doubters, he's got the pressure, but he's also got a reloaded offense, a sharper playbook, and maybe the deepest drive we've ever seen in him, IF Josh. Allen plays at the level he's capable of. Buffalo is a legitimate Super Bowl threat, not just a hopeful contender. Fantasy QB1 is just the beginning. All right, Mafia, now it's your turn. Do you think Elijah Moore makes the 53-man roster? Which WR are you rooting for to grab that lasting spot? Moore, Hamler, Prater, or one of the underdogs? And how confident are you in Brandon Beane's retooling heading into the 2025 season? Drop your takes in the comments below. We want to hear from you. This is your team, your community. And this WR battle, it's going to be must-watch Bills football. If you enjoyed this breakdown, punch that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive stories, film room breakdowns, roster updates, and inside access on the team we all love. We're here for one thing, to bring a Lombardi to Buffalo. Until next time, go Bills!